Hello, Merry Time Zone friends, it's Matt here today bringing you a very special video for the channel, sponsored today by Skeletal Games. Skeletal Games have been incredible and they were sending out some early access demo keys to some creators and I was lucky enough to receive one of them today. I am so stoked. I love the look of this game. I think you're gonna love it too. So massive thank you to Skeletal Games for allowing me to bring this video to you. So without further ado, grab your cuppers and settle in. So today we are playing Spill the Beans. This game looked hysterical from the first moment I saw the trailer, and I am so lucky to be able to play this in early access. The demo for this game is going to be available to everyone as part of Steam Next Fest, June 10th. You only have to wait a few days after the release of this video and then you will also get a chance to play this. I'm so stoked to play it today, really excited for you guys to see it as well, so I'm not going to dally. We're going to get straight into the Steam description, watch the trailer together, and then I've got some really cool things to show you, so let's get into it.
Welcome to your new job at the Familiar. Your first day should be a breeze. Make coffee, meet customers, and steal your boss's secret recipe? And blame your crime on someone else in the cafe? Well, that certainly makes things interesting. You've got plenty of potential scapegoats to choose from. A hard-working golem, an unruly skeleton, a sweet-toothed vampire, a siren social media star, and your boss. He's a dick.
Cat.
Interrogate your scapegoats, gather evidence to use against them, and choose who to accuse for your crime, with over 15 ways to close the case. But if you took a little time to get to know these people, maybe things could go a different way. Maybe they could even get to know the real you. Just make sure to use your time wisely before things reach a boiling point. When you're the one who done it, who will you get to spill the beans?
A secret recipe has been stolen and you're charged with finding the culprit. Trouble is, you're the one who done it. Investigate, interrogate, and manipulate your way to framing the perfect scapegoat in this reverse detective visual novel. This is a true indie developed and published both by Skeletal Games themselves. There's some really cool stuff about this team. For one, they are both UK and Canadian based. This originally was a game jam game that they made together and then they decided to work on it a bit more and bring it into a full game for us. I'm so excited and so happy that they did because this looks incredible. One of the things I love about this the most, they absolutely are here for showcasing diverse people, all different kinds of people from complex backgrounds. You might have been able to see in the trailer, one of our characters is in a wheelchair, so we have disability representation. But another cool thing that I know about is that you can change your pronouns in this, not just to she, him, and they. You can add your own custom neo pronouns. And that for me is incredible because you do not see a lot of games these days that allow you to add your own pronouns. That being said, I'm really excited to get into it. There's 15 different possible endings and it sounds like we can flirt with skeletons. So I want to get in here, meet some characters, maybe flirt a little bit today. There are some super cool settings that I really want to show you guys. So we're going to hop in, take a look at the settings, and then we're going to start a new game. First things first, this menu is so heckin' cute. Are you kidding me? Like, we're here in the cafe that I assume we're going to be working at. And, oh, it's so pretty. I want to work here. I want to be here. I want to come here all the time and buy donuts and coffee and just, Going through this menu as well, I have to say, this sound, it's so satisfying. Hopping now into the settings, there are some absolutely awesome things I want to show you. You don't see some of these settings very often, so I have to highlight them. The main thing I want to show you here is the accessibility, because what this game has done here is something you don't see in a lot of games, and I'm absolutely here for it. First of all, here we've got text-to-speech and audio notifications. I'm going to turn it on now just so you can see an example. I really love that they've added this because I don't see this very often. So let's toggle it on. So you see at the top there, it now says self-voicing enabled. Press V to disable.
Self-voicing text-to-speech, text-to-speech, text-to-speech selected.
So it gives you a few different options with that, which I absolutely love. What makes this even better is options like changing the font. We can put it in Deja Vu Sans. We can have it in the default one they offer, but they also have Open Dyslexic. But what I also want to highlight here is if you go to high contrast text, that adds an extra layer of accessibility. I asked some friends and creators recently about what kind of things they want to see in accessibility options. High contrast text was one of the things that was on top of their list. So it's awesome to see that this is already here in the demo, seeing as we have these options, and I know there are going to be people watching this that might appreciate these options being on. We are going to have that on for the duration of the video. One final thing I want to address here before we move on is the content warnings here, which does pop up the first time you load the game, but you can access it here again from the menu. And it tells us that these content warnings are only for the demo and may be updated for the full game. Crude language and implied drug use. Now that we've shown off some of the cool settings, I think it's time that we show off the cool characters as well. I'm so excited to get into this one. So let's get straight into a new game. You've done it. Against all odds, you've managed to pull off the heist. Your shaking, outstretched hands grab the cafe's secret recipe. As its power pulses through your body, your heart aches, your breath flutters. Mere echoes of what was taken from you, what will soon be yours again. But at this crucial moment, you can't help but think of the other people in this cafe, the ones you're about to drag into a complicated criminal mess. You can only blame the scroll's influence for such inconvenient sympathies. If they were in your position, they'd do the same, wouldn't they? They'd know that, after everything you'd been through, this was the only option left. People say that Artifice County is the most magical place there is. Yes, Artifice, where 100 years ago the world of spirits cracked the earth and spilled over into ours. But now those spirits work 9 to 5s. Arcane power fuels cars and charges phones. This county, once the cradle of magic, has become as mundane as any other. And an unmagical human like yourself? Among shape-shifting sirens, carbon fiber constructs, and wizards, you're exceptional. Exceptionally dull and exceptionally underestimated. No matter how much you tried to fit in, to love this place and all its wonders, it never reciprocated. All it did was take. All it left you with was emptiness. So why not take something back? Steal everything the county denied from you, fill that gnawing emptiness, then leave it behind forever. Luckily, you know what you need and exactly where to find it. The Familiar. A downtown cafe, noteworthy only for its secret recipe, locked tight in a back room. And conveniently enough, they're hiring, so desperately that they aren't asking for experience or background checks. All that's left is to put together an application. Not that anything you say on it really matters. It rarely does. And here we are, introducing ourselves on our resume. This is where we get to do a little bit of character creation. How cute is this? The spilled coffee, the art style just in this entire opening has just been like super cute. Okay, so let's add in some of our details here. For name, we get a limited character amount, which I understand, but it's also a little bit sad because I can't put my whole name in, so we're gonna go with Maddie. If the name we put on here is the name they use to address us throughout it, I want them to call me Maddie. We don't have a phone number and we live at 123 Placeholder Avenue, Artifice County, F69420. Oh, I love that so much. It's actually hilarious. Let's go down the list. I am A or An. Hard, fast, self-motivated, disciplined, industrious, cerebral, forthright, fun-loving, loquacious, or erstwhile. I haven't heard some of these words in a long time. So erstwhile appears to mean formerly, like in the past, former as opposed to formal. And loquacious means talkative. I mean forthright, I guess, because I'm honest. Industrious, disciplined, no. Self-motivated, no. Let's have a look at some of the nouns we can choose. We have worker, learner, individual, professional, artisan, genius, underdog, thrill seeker, ship captain, or wizard. Am I basically just making my pirate druid Pepper? A forthright ship captain who loves a job well done, coffee, doing the work, social interaction, money, yes, arcane power, justice, long walks on the beach, destroying my enemies and myself. Dude, these options are awesome. No, I can't put her last name in. Pepper Cannonball. We'll go back to my original name, but I'm gonna be embodying the Pepper spirit, I think, for today. I've gone with I am an industrious ship captain who loves destroying my enemies. Soft skills. Let's see what we've got. We have good listener, great communicator, competent leader, adequate advisor, passable confidant, and a novice compromiser. Well, Pepper is a competent leader for sure. Expert articulator, experienced coordinator, excellent organizer, excusable sycophant, miraculous expounder, possible sidekick, probable minion. Well, Pepper's no one's sidekick. Experienced coordinator? I mean, if you're talking about like coordinates, then sure. Master problem solver, grand master problem solver, god of the elocutionary arts, mind-boggling understander, surprisingly okay snack fetcher. Please, team player, just please. Here's me not knowing what an elocutionary art is. Googling. Ooh, elocution is the study of formal speaking in pronunciation, grammar, style, and tone, as well as the idea and practice of effective speech in its forms. Given the fact that I stumbled over that sentence, I'm going to go ahead and say that god of the elocutionary arts is not something I am. I like the idea of a surprisingly okay snack fetcher because what's so surprising about being okay at fetching snacks? I like how there's conveniently a coffee spill over the experience. It looks like that says emo dynamic volunteer, and I volunteered to be emo dynamic. So definitely me. And this is where, as I was talking about at the very beginning, we can choose our pronouns. We can go she, her, we can go he, him, they, them, or other. And this is where we can put in our custom pronouns. This is awesome because you don't get this very often at all. I genuinely, other than The Sims that added it within the last couple of years, I don't honestly know if I could name a game I've played that allows you to choose your custom pronouns. For me, I'm just going to put they, them. I don't go by any particular custom neo pronouns, but I am non-binary, so we're going to go with they, them today. Changing these options also changes the self-affirmation exercise at the top. How do people see you? Try to be honest. My name is Maddie. Oh, them? They're always sitting by themselves. Their face is hard to read, but that smile of theirs is unique. They sure are a mystery. Well, we're a mystery. And now we have the sliders here. We can change our skin tone. Lovely range of skin tones in here. What would be great, and I don't know if this is a possibility, is if we can change it to have like non-natural skin tones. Ooh, we can change our hair. We can have headwear, which I love. I'll be really curious to see if in the full game they add more options to this as well. We have the short curly hair, we have the long wavy hair, and then we have the boofy afro curls. This hair is almost exactly how mine looks right this second, so I'm absolutely stoked that they've got my hair. That being said, I think we're done. I don't know how these skills are going to play out later on, if this has anything to do with it, if they're like, are they going to ask me about being a ship captain? I don't know. We're going to go in this with some energy with Pepper today. We're going to go in there and we're just going to flirt. We're going to be confident. It's going to be amazing. So let's hit the done button and let's go lie our asses off. A few days later, you're face to face with a familiar. While its neighbours are all dust and drywall, its facade seems unbroken, even if the varnish is peeling at the edges. For a moment, nothing. Then you spot a silhouette in the window who flicks its neon sign to open before waving you over. You cross the street, repeating the details of your plan. You need to get in, get out, and for the smoothest possible getaway, try to find someone else to take the blame. But can you really do all those things without running into any complications? You've already reached the front door. You can hardly turn back now. Ooh! The cafe laid bare before you is almost indistinguishable from the scant images you found online. Mismatched chairs and royalty-free wall arts, well kept but worn down. You don't get long to take it all in. A construct, towering over 2 meters tall, stops wiping down the counter and turns to greet you. Ah, you must be Maddie. Great to finally meet you. Sorry, terribly rude of me not to meet you at the door. As she strides over, you realise how old her vessel must be to have no custom limbs or decals. Just worn grey stone, flowering moss, and that tiny blue bird nested on her shoulder. I'm Sloane, from the emails. Lovely to have you on board. Did you get here alright? I saw your address was uptown, and I know we're a wee bit out of the way. Before you get a chance to reply, she's already yanked you into a crushing two-handed shake. For a moment, you worry that she might have pulled your arm from its socket. Actually, I shouldn't get chatting just yet. Today's schedule's pretty packed, what with your induction, and I barely found time to fix breakfast for Atom. Oh, hang on. This is Atom. Atom, say hello to Maddie. They're your new co-worker, so be polite. Atom's usually my only company out front, so it'll be nice to have you too. I mean, I love this job, I really do. But after 6 years working the floor by myself, starting at 5 every day. Not that you have to come in that early, of course. We're only meant to start at 8, but it pays off. It does. As Sloane trails off, you have a chance to put your plan in motion. You've spent a long time figuring out other people's so-called feelings and just how easy they are to manipulate. If someone's in a good mood, they'll probably think better of you and suspect you less. Then again, if you make someone upset, they might make for an easier scapegoat under pressure. But what's best for Sloane? Better make that first impression count. Maddie? Oh, I've worried you with that 5 AM thing, haven't I? Just want to stress that you don't have to do that, honest. Oh, we have our first decision. We have the broken heart with the arrow down and the full pink heart with the arrow up. We can either get on her good side or get on her bad side. We have that depends. Are you paid for those extra hours? If we choose that option, it would decrease Sloane's mood to make her more prone to breaking under pressure. Oh, I don't want to break her under pressure. Or those extra hours must be worth it. This place is spotless. If we choose the extra hours must be worth it, it increases Sloane's mood to make her a more amenable ally. Sloane seems adorable. I love Sloane already. Look at the way Atom the bird is looking at her, which by the way, I looked at the dev list in the credits and I think Atom was in that list. I'll go over that at the end when we finish playing, but I saw the name Atom in there, so if that's named after a dev, that's hilarious. But she's so sweet. Look at her. I can't believe I'm gonna have to potentially break her heart. She's like got the glowing green eyes and they got the green fluffy hair, the moss everywhere. She's so sweet. Literally, I've only known her for like 2 minutes and I don't know if I can upset her. No, I think we have to be nice to Sloane. Oh, that's sweet of you. I tried to bring the best out of the old familiar. Good to know other people actually notice. See, look at her. Oh, she's so happy. The lights flicker overhead before Sloane can finish her sentence. Oh, sorry. I thought that was fixed. Should call the electromancer once I get a free moment. Anyway, packed schedule. I've got pastries in the oven, then a delivery after. Come on, let's get you in uniform. If we're quick, I can show you how our recipe works before any customers arrive. Sloane strides through the doorway behind the counter, beckoning you into the kitchen beyond. It takes 3 steps to match just one of hers. The kitchen, built from cool metal and right angles, is warm with the smell of apricots. You breathe it in while Sloane roots through a nearby cabinet before suddenly sighing. I'll say this now. Sorry about the fit. She hands you an apron like her own. Exactly like her own, actually, in that it's far too big for you. It's bound to slow you down and make you look utterly ridiculous. Your one should be here tomorrow. I hope this is alright in the meantime. And then we have sure, if anything it's amusing. Or could I skip the uniform if it's just for today? If we take it, it says take the apron, you're here to play the part, aren't you? But if we select skip, it says don't take the apron, you're liable to trip over that thing. It's not insulting to say can I skip the uniform if it's just for one day. I mean, she's a construct. We heckin' stan, I love Sloane so much, but for the sake of the uniform for one day, maybe we skip the uniform? You're not stealing anything in something so unwieldy. Oh, sure. Do take a name tag at least, just so everyone knows you're actually supposed to work here. As you pin your name tag onto your unaproned self, Sloane smiles. It's a stretched, strained smile that pulls her whole face taut. Look, I'm sure not everything you've heard about this place has been grand, but once you put in a little elbow grease, she really shines. I've got a lot of elbow grease. I just wanted to say that. you wouldn't be here if I didn't think you had the same drive. Your application told me that much. Although, what was the phrase you used? Surprisingly okay snack fetcher? I know these roles can be challenging, but I hope you didn't think we'd treat you like that. Oh my god, they're actually quoting the application. They did make that an active part of the game. That's hilarious and I love it, and I can't wait to see how that's going to come back to bite me in the ass, because you know it will. But at the end of the day, those are just words. Your experience was what really settled it. I mean, it must have been quite a privilege to work for. Sloane is cut short by a buzz from her phone. Oh, pastries! Why don't you pop into the office while I grab those? Fred, your manager I should say, ought to be ready. Big grey door on your right. Best of luck. You take 5, no 6 steps towards the office. A hiss of heat escaping the oven behind you. Beyond lies Fred, the owner, the one from the newspaper, the one whose recipe you're here for. The way it's specified 6 steps, I have to wonder if that's going to come back to be important later. You ease the door open, but no one greets you. Your eyes are immediately drawn to the colossal metal safe that occupies a quarter of the room, just a few steps away. You knew the recipe was protected, but not like this. The safe looks like it was taken from the set of a heist movie. It should be locking up gold bars instead of, what? A recipe for coffee? But as you run a hand across its surface, wondering just how you're gonna crack it open, there's a rustle nearby. You snap upright with a bolt of unbidden adrenaline. Like a dragon emerging from its hoard, a tiny, golden-eyed tuxedo cat rouses from a pet bed on top of the safe. He blinks stickily, then suddenly glares at you, fur on end, eyes aglow. Don't touch my shit! He spits the word at you like darts, light crackling through his panicked eyes. The air in the room starts getting heavier, as if brewing into a thundercloud. Who sent you? If you think you're going to best me in my own domain, then... Wait, you're the new hire, aren't you? Quick as a power cut, the light in his eyes blinks out, and the pressure lifts with it. The cat sighs, leaping smoothly from the safe to the desk. Sorry, that was unprofessional of me. I'm Fred. Welcome to the familiar. Good to have you on board. Well, given the terrifying magic and the talking, he's not a cat. He's a demon bound to the form of a beast. A familiar, in other words. That's the last time I'm pulling an all-nighter in admin. You're lucky to still be young, human, because after the 1st century, things get... Sloane wanted you onboarded, right? We have one main rule. Do everything you can to show the economist types this place isn't a bad idea. More than fire safety drills, we need drive and spite. So that's what I expect from you. Are we clear? Did you expect I'd even be here today? Oh, crystal clear, boss. I like this cat. He's to the point. Oh my god, the hang in there poster holding the mouse. I mean, he did yell at us before we came in. Maybe we challenge him a little bit and we're like, push back a little. Maybe we'll learn more respectful with him later. Do you expect I'd even be here today? Of course I did. I was up all night doing your paperwork. Not my fault the county wants to know every little thing, down to tax codes and full legal names, but I did it anyway, because of you. We aren't a happy little family here. We're just hard workers. This isn't going to work if you aren't prepared to work just as hard as me and Sloane. As if on cue, Sloane enters the office, a kettle of boiling water in one hand and a packet of coffee in the other. She starts mixing the two in a mug on Fred's desk. Morning, Fred. Everything alright in here? Thought I heard a bit of shouting. Oh, you heard that, huh? Walls are thinner than I thought. I've, just been given... Fred quickly squints at your name tag. Given Maddie the lowdown on the familiar. Our history, what we do, all the good stuff. Sloane gazes at Fred, tracing the tiredness in his eyes. Her smile dims a little. Oh, that's nice. I can join you now if you'd like. We can go over the finer details together. If you got time, by all means. With firm movements, Sloane puts her kettle down and closes the door behind her. Fred's eyes lock onto your name tag again as he reads it under his breath. So, Maddie, let's get down to business. We're open 8 to 5 most days, but your shift goes 30 minutes longer at the end for closing. Anything after that is overtime. I can give you the forms. Aprons go on hooks in the kitchen. If anything gets spilled on it, don't be afraid to excuse yourself and replace it as soon as you can. Oh, and if you are going to excuse yourself, and on it goes. Sloane and Fred don't speak to you as 2 different people, but as 2 halves of one business. Efficient, organised, and trusting one another as best they can. That should be most of it. I'll be with you at the counter for your training, so don't hesitate to ask me any questions. She's cut off again by her phone. Oh, excuse me. Dave. Hey, Sloane. Just unloading the van out back, so there she heads up. Thanks, Dave. I'll be right there. I should be off. Need to give my signature for the deliveries. Thanks again, Fred. Or Maddie. Before you join her, I'm sure you've heard about our recipe. Gods know it's all the newspapers ever cared about, but it's not so much a set of instructions as it is, well, I won't get too arcane with you. It's more a bunch of background things like the internet. You use that, right? Point being, even if you don't see it, it'll still be working its magic back there. In a drill-proof, bomb-proof, 6-gauge safe, which only me and Sloan can open. Also, I curse it. Look at that cheeky little grin. He's so proud of himself. Alright, we have 2 options with a magnifying glass and 1 with a heart. Let's go through the options top to bottom. We have, so it's protected against teleport-based attacks too, of course. Creates an opportunity for Fred to act suspiciously in front of others. Then we have, oh, Sloan offered to show me the recipe earlier, which increases Fred's suspicion of Sloan. Or we say, I get it, you've got to protect what's yours, and that helps make you more of an ally. I don't want to throw any shade in Sloan's direction. I'm gonna feel so bad if Sloan gets put away at the end of this playthrough. Maybe in another playthrough, because I'm definitely gonna play this game multiple times. Maybe later we'll be an asshole and we'll get rid of Sloan, but for now, I want to increase Fred's suspicion. Also, maybe he might give us some more information without meaning to, so it's protected against teleport-based attacks too, of course. Well, sometimes I need to summon something from inside without opening the door, so... But I guess someone else could. I'll double check that it's not a problem. But not because of you. That's my field, alright? Oh, he's so pissed that we intervened. He looks back at the veritable vault behind him, as if checking that it's still there. Can never be too careful with these things, especially in this economy. I mean, wasn't it just last week that Raphael Hendricks threw off his beauty store chain? Raphael Hendricks? Is that supposed to be like a play on someone's real name? Someone let me know. It's inspirational how these CEOs act. Expanding isn't easy. I mean, ideally you would have an accountant, a consultant, another chef, but we've got you, so I hope you take your responsibilities seriously, especially with our regulars. Ugh, you'll meet them soon enough. You should catch up with Sloan. Anything you need, I'll be back here, going over these papers. As you leave the office, Fred pulls a single sheet of paper from the files on his desk. Even upside down, you recognize it as your CV. Not a moment after you enter the kitchen, someone waves at you from the back door. In the doorway next to Sloan is a uniformed courier, a human just as unremarkable as you. A precarious stack of cardboard boxes wobbles threateningly behind him. Say, you're Maddie, aren't you? Sloan was just telling me about you. All the good things, I promise. Mostly good. I really regret making him American. I'm just gonna say this right now. His accent's so hard, I'm so sorry. Dave gives Sloan a package and gives you a conspiratorial eyebrow waggle. He pauses to take a long breath inward through his nose. Oh, is that apricot? So you did go for the new recipe. Fred must have taken some convincing. Oh, I'm just trying it out. We'll see how they sell first. Hey, if I come by once I'm off work, that's one customer right there, guaranteed. Sloan breaks away to put each package in its right place. Dave looks at you, eyes glistening. Hey Maddie, have a good first day, yeah? If you say so. Thanks, I will. If you choose, if you say so, it decreases Dave's mood to... Actually, who cares? He'll be gone soon anyway. But if you say thanks, I will, it says increase Dave's mood to give him a bright start to the day, I guess? We're gonna go with if you say so. What does he care? He's not gonna be around for it. Oh. Okay. I mean, he's flirting with Sloan anyway, so I'm not gonna get involved in that. Like, he and Sloan, I can see it already. There's a little something something going on there. Even Atom's singing about it. Look at that little burb up there. He's like, yay. Any more for me, Dave? Just a couple bigger things, but I'll grab those this time. Don't let me interrupt your induction. Are you sure? I could carry. I'll catch you later for that pastry, yeah? Dave walks away whistling, his footsteps gradually going quiet to the alley. Maddie, I'm so sorry about Fred. I know he must have overslept today. That's on me. You notice her hands are balled into fists, one so tight that even the stone starts to buckle. Oh, I just wanted your first day to be easy, but oh well. Let's get you behind the counter, shall we? There won't be time to take you through all the machines, so let's just fill the drip maker. I'll keep the owl's roast down here. He effortlessly pulls open a burlap sack of beans, scooping them into the grinder. As you pulverize them, the aroma of the coffee fills your lungs like a cloud of bitter smoke. Today's been all over the shop, hasn't it? We should get a wee moment to breathe now. Only one customer comes in this early, and they don't do Mondays. I'll introduce you tomorrow. Sloane smiles, the stone wrinkling around her eyes, and it dawns on you. This is beginning to feel like a real job. Just as you finish that thought, the front door swings wide open and your first customer skips inside. You spot at least 4 shades of pink in their outfit. Pink fingernails, pink sun hat, lipstick, backpack. That dress must be bespoke too. Pricey. As they draw close though, you spot pointed fangs in their cheery smile and deep red eyes behind their tinted glasses. A vampire. Good morning, Sloane. Oh, I spoke too soon. Morning. Before you order, this is Maddie, our new barista. Ah, so you're finally upscaling. You know, I saw some prime real estate going for cheap on Moonbow, if expansion's on your mind. Slow down, we're not taking over the industry just yet. The vampire looks as if they have more to say, words bubbling just beneath the surface, but settles on a pout. Maddie, I'm Jessie, with an IE. Jessie's eyes swivel to you with abundant curiosity. You're not in uniform. Is this your trial period? Should I be giving feedback on your drinks? All criticism will be constructive, I promise. Oh, no, it's nothing like that. Just a supply chain issue. What'll it be this time, Jessie? A hot chocolate, please. And I'll have it with, whipped cream, nutmeg, caramel, marshmallows. Wait, was that fit? Marshmallows, then whipped cream, then caramel and the rest. Oh, but what if I got cookies too? Give me one with everything. And 2 chocolate chip cookies, please. Sloane's already off on one side, rifling through her arsenal of ingredients. Meanwhile, Jessie brandishes a pink bat-styled mug from her satchel, placing it on the counter as their eyes flick back to you. Even if Sloane and Fred aren't aiming for world domination yet, you're still on the front line of their expansion plans. They're investing a lot of trust in you. So tell me, do you feel like a good investment? How far are you willing to go to succeed? Well, it's just a job, really. Or I'd do anything. I mean, for Sloane, I would do anything. I really would. I feel like we want them on side. There's something about them. They're like, oh yeah, look, I'm so pink and fluffy and bubbly and look at me. I couldn't hurt anybody, but you know, she's got them fangs. She's sneaky. She's like making herself look as cute, as innocent as possible. And then I just know that they're going to be one to watch. I feel like the way we'd answer this though is we would say, well, it's just a job really. We've only been here for like half a day. The vampire peers deep into your eyes as if making out something in the distance. I see. That's all I wanted to know. Oh, we've upset her. So, Jessie, what brings you here on this lovely Monday morning? You trying out a new schedule? Oh no, I'm meeting the board in person after this. I could use the energy boost. Ah, for your infamous internship. How is your family treating you then? The same way they treat everybody. If I could afford it, I'd be here to help the familiar instead. But then Fred's just like everybody else. He sees my last name as Hendrix and thinks I'm some sorcerous corporate spy out to suck the proverbial blood from his business. Of course, the Hendrixes. Rich, powerful, and, most troublingly for you, magically talented. Jessie looks at you, anticipating your judgment with a flat smile. Interesting, so potentially somebody with power. Somebody who could be a very powerful ally. I know the Hendrixes was mentioned earlier on by Fred, and I can't remember if he gave off the vibe that he did or didn't like him. The options then that we get with Jessie, we have, you know, Fred did say he was looking for a consultant, which creates an opportunity for Jessie to act suspiciously. He called your father cashing out on a failed business inspirational, which increases Jessie's suspicion of Fred. Or we have, well, you're far too fashionable to be a spy. I do think I want this person as an ally. I think we need Jessie on side. This probably is more vivid than anyone doing espionage would want, but who knows? Maybe that's just what a spy would say. Try not to let your family get you down, Jessie. You'll get your chance to prove yourself someday. Well, if all goes according to plan, the chance should come today. Fingers crossed. Sloane passes Jessie's now full mug across the counter. By some miracle of physics, it hasn't spilled over yet. Maybe this was a bit ambitious, but if I use a cookie to scoop up the cream and let the marshmallows melt, I can finish it in 30 minutes? I should go. Thank you, Sloane. Thank you, Sloane. Maddie, I'll see you later. Jessie swipes their card, then their mug, making a beeline for the booth seat before the payment even goes through. They assemble their workstation in mere seconds, a sheaf of papers, a stack of textbooks, and a predictably pink laptop. The mug stands valiantly at a safe distance. Jessie was surprised, but At least they're a nice one. I'm just grateful they didn't come in at the same time as... Before she can finish, the front door swings open and a siren rolls into the room. She's wearing a sleeveless orange turtleneck, a magnolia-covered jacket that's relaxing on her shoulders, and a perfectly photogenic smile that doesn't quite reach her eyes. Hello, the familiar. It's a perfect day for my long overdue review, don't you think? You'll have to forgive me. I came straight here for my morning swim. I must look a mess. She runs one hand through a river of glossy pale hair, parted by an immaculate side cut, and raises the smartphone with the other, flourishing it like a paper fan. Don't worry, Maddie, I'll handle this. Le gasp. The way she just slides across the screen there, just like hunched over her phone. Jessie shrinks back, arranging their books into a makeshift wall. It seems to work. The siren glides over towards the counter, not noticing them at all. Now, Sloane, I know you very well, of course, but for the benefit of both me and my adoring fans, who is this? Oh, I didn't know you'd be coming. This is... But the siren's already staring at your name tag, trying to preempt Sloane's introduction. So that's how you spell Maddie Enchanté. I'm Alexandra Agrios. Pleasure to meet your acquaintance. You don't happen to have a grimoire account, do you, Maddie? I'd love to give you a proper credit in my post. How about a drink first, before anything goes onto that internet page of yours? Quite right, Sloane. I'm getting ahead of myself. Could I have... She clears her throat and straightens her back. A blue sea salt caramel frappe with soy milk and non-dairy whipped cream on top. Plus, a little of that raspberry chocolate powder you have would be lovely. Thank you so much. Oh my god, that sounds incredible. Please, if this drink exists in real life, like, put one in my face right now. I should have everything. Let me check the back first. Maddie, could you grab a plastic cup for that? Lids are in the bottom left cupboard. Wait, do you have any of those little fish cookie... Oh, she's gone. In the silence, Alexandra's smile slides off her face. She sighs sharply through her nose. Are you alright? I know this whole song and dance can be quite overwhelming if you aren't prepared, but then you don't know who I am anyway, do you? Oh no, of course I've heard of you. Or I've never heard of you, sorry. Interesting that saying that you've heard of her makes it go down. I wonder if we can be like, oh no, I have no idea who you are. Tell me about yourself. It's like, oh yes, of course, I love to speak about myself, and then it's going to help her open up. But this is what I was talking about right at the very beginning. Alexandra is in a wheelchair, showing the way that they can live their life like a normal fucking person. This woman is clearly very capable, and you see the people here treating her like Sloane treats her absolutely normally. She's left her alone to go, you live your life, and she is perfectly capable, and she's beautiful. I mean, we have to flatter the siren, right? I've never heard of you. Let's make her an ally. That would make sense. Thanks for getting it out of the way. I hope I made a good first impression, for whatever that's worth. Sloane returns, hands full of yet more ingredients. You hand her a cup, and she starts filling it with dubiously blue syrup. Should I expect your fans to start ordering these frappes in the hundreds? I'm not sure they're on theme anymore. Oh, I wouldn't worry about that. The drink's just to showcase how skilled you are at your craft. It's aesthetic. That's what the audience really wants. Well, I suppose it's a blue drink with pink sprinkles and white whipped cream, so by Pride, during Pride Month, let's go. Alexandra plucks a card reader from the counter with a sly smile, passes her phone across it and hands it back with a wink. There's a 30% tip attached. Oh heck yes, let's go. You'd know better than me about that social media stuff. Sloane, Maddie, trust me, you've got a wonderful cozy place here. What's not to love? Those donuts, those menus. Alexandra turns around to gesture at the cafe, and her eyes finally land on Jessie. Her voice freezes in her throat. Jess? Oh no! Eek! Oh no, bless her. Not the embarrassment poof. Oh no, Jessie. Alex, why did you pick today of all days to come in? It was on my page. Perhaps I should have dropped you a message. Sorry. Do you... Sloane puts the finished frappe to one side, pushing past you to tend to the transformed Jessie. Alexandra squeaks a little closer to you. I'm sorry, Maddie. Truly. Drama's the last thing I'd want to bring to this establishment. Or to Jessie. She plucks the frappe from the counter, You're not sure how anything that colour could taste any better than tolerable. I know, but I'm not wanted. I'll just snap a few photos, then be on my merry way. The lighting's not ideal, but I can fix it in post. So what kind of tea is going on between Jesse and Alex here? There does seem to be some kind of history here. Alright, so the options we've got here are feel free to dim the lights, the switch is right there, and that gives her a chance to act suspiciously. I guess because if she's dimming the lights, then when the lights go down, I'm assuming we steal stuff. If she's like messing with stuff, then maybe that puts suspicion on her. So Jessie really didn't know you were coming, but they seem so organized. Increases her suspicion of Jessie. Or we say, I don't know what's going on between you two, but I'm sorry. I feel like when you choose one train, you have to stick with it. And I kind of wanted her to be an ally, but mostly I was just flirting because she was hot. But so maybe... Oh, but we want Jessie on side. Putting suspicion on Jessie, is that going to be bad for us down the line if we're trying to get her to be an ally? These are some tough decisions, man. Maybe if we get Jessie on side and we don't throw any suspicion at her because we want her to be our friend, we put suspicion elsewhere? I don't know. We're going to see what happens. Like, this run might go to absolute hell, but I'm going to stick with it. We're going to put suspicion on Fred, and we're going to put suspicion on Alex. We'll get Jessie and Sloane on side, and then any other characters that come into it, we'll judge it as we get there. Oh, that is helpful. Thank you, darling. I'll take a look once I've got the post drafted. With a final smile, Alexandra takes a drink to the cafe's centermost table, posing it like an art exhibit. Jessie, still abacked, keeps staring at her, but she doesn't look back. With an exhausted puff of smoke, Jessie returns to their original form and slumps into their seat, eyes wandering to the crescent moon bracelet on their wrist. Sloane returns after confirming they're okay. Sorry, I didn't think... Yeah, both of them at once can be a wee bit complicated. They used to... She's cut off by the sound of a motorbike revving outside, heralding the arrival of your third customer. Hello! This person is a first, even for you. Someone whose body lacks everything but a skeleton. You don't know any kind of magic that can make that work. Skinless, fleshless, sigilless. Although he does have hair, which you're pretty sure isn't a type of bone. A stiff, dark brown pompadour that props up a pair of sunglasses. Grudge? Grudge, hey! How's it going? I feel like I've barely seen you since ArtCon. Oh. Bye. He reaches the counter undeterred. You're waiting for Sloane to address him like the others, but she's just staring, locked in place. So you're the new barista. Good job of making it this far. Makes you one of the best, don't it? Ain't just a coffee you brew. It's your resolve. Can I... Can we just take your order? Yeah, resolve. Well, let me tell you, I know your type, and I know you're up to something. I can feel it in my... I can feel it. Sloane, I would like to order a thank you kindly. Let's put your new barista to the test. I'll have a coffee. A black coffee. From the pot. Doesn't have to be... Yeah. I think we might... Sloane's eyes bounce between his skull and the coffee pot on the counter. Maddie, why don't you handle this one? It'll be good. For your training. Seems like she isn't going to budge. You grab a cup and start pouring. Wait, what's her name? Maddie? Okay, I think I got it. Maddie! So that's to be the name of my nemesis. I'm Grudge. Grudge Knuckles, and you'd best remember it. Even if Frederick gave you this job instead of me, there's bound to be cracks in your meticulous facade. Your coffee making halts at this revelation. He had a whole rant prepared just because you got this job? With an application like that? You're making it obvious why they didn't pick you, or you caught me, this is all a ruse. I kinda wanna flirt with the skeleton a little bit. Heh, I knew it. I can't just take my nemesis's word for it. I'm gonna need hard proof to know for certain. You present the now full cup to Grudge. He daintily drops in a sugar cube and stirs the coffee with a bone-like spoon, which he apparently just had loose in one of his pockets. Here, nice try, Maddie, but I know coffee when I see it, so there's no way this. He puts it to his jawbone and takes a delicate sip. The liquid seems to vanish as soon as it enters his mouth. Damn it, it's just like usual. How they get it right so quick? So bitter. It's it's so energizing. Well, I'll be, Maddie. Coffee's as bitter as your soul, just how it should be. But I'm still watching you. He takes the cup and spins dramatically away from the counter. It's then that he finally spots Jessie. Jessie! Raj! They immediately hug. It's good to see you. Why didn't you pop up earlier? I was waiting for you to finish. That sounded quite personal, Grudge. Are you sure that was a good idea? Oh, yeah, you heard that? Sorry, it was just a personal... Yeah, it doesn't matter. How's your job going? I could tell you, but I've not got long. Are you sure you don't want something with your coffee? Sloane's made some great cookies today, and I'd be happy to buy... Oh, no. Shouldn't give my nemesis the satisfaction. Not after walking away all conclusively like I just did. Grudge, you haven't even made yet. And I admire your candor, but are you sure Maddie's your nemesis and not Fred? Ugh, Fred's a real villain, that's true. But a nemesis, that's different. Gotta be personal. But you don't know who Maddie is yet. Maybe start with a rivalry as practice? A rivalry? Having a lovely time at... No, he was lovely last time. They'll think that's insincere. Ugh, what if I... Oh, almost forgot. Alex, how you doing? All good over there? Oh, Grudgy, I didn't see you come in. How have you been? Well, it's funny you're here, actually. There was something I wanted to... I'll, catch up with you later. You both seem busy, and I should pay. Grudge sheepishly returns to the counter, hands fishing through his jacket pockets for some loose coins. Well, I'm back. Got too caught in the whole confrontation to give you your money, even if most of it's going straight into Fred's pockets. Ugh, but I'll say this, I'm practically a coffee detective, and I'm detecting something odd about you. So long as I come here, I'm gonna do my damnedest to figure out what you think I'm suspicious. Wait till you see what Fred's up to. Is it just me, or is Alexandra trying to ignore you? Then catch me, detective. Oh, don't tempt me with the flirt right there. I really want to throw some shade at Fred right now and be like, wait till you see what Fred's up to. Because we know that he's going to be, anti-Fred. But also, this is putting suspicious activity on Grudge rather than on Fred. Catch me, detective. Detective. I like the sound of that. Maybe I will catch you then, Maddie. Later. I'll catch you later. Without another word, he perches on a stool by one of the cafe's front windows. Over his shoulder, Alexandra and Jessie swap looks of confused concern. Good job, Maddie. Now will be a good moment to put his purchase into the register. As she's halfway through showing you how to work the cash register, you turn to see Fred jump up onto the counter next to you. Surprise! It's me. Things had better be fine out here, or else I'll... He surveys the regulars in the cafe with no small amount of scorn. Sloan, why don't you come with me for a moment? Been meaning to have a chat, but we still need to... She looks forlornly at the pile of coins Grudge left. Even at a glance, you can tell it covers the price of the drink and then some. This might be your last chance to sow suspicions before you execute your plan. Better choose wisely. Alright, so we've got one of our final decisions here. The till's out of paper notes. Could you grab some more? And that gives Sloane a chance to be suspicious. Is Grudge usually like that? Increases Sloane's suspicion of Grudge. Or I'll deal with this, take 5 Sloane, increases her mood to make her more amenable. I don't want anyone to be suspicious of Sloane, and I'm too busy flirting with Grudge to want anyone to be mad at him. So the only one we've really thrown any shade at other than Fred is Alex. We're just gonna have to see how it plays out. Sloane nods, clearly grateful for the brief reprieve. As silence returns to the room, so too does your opportunity. But you can't help but overhear Fred and Sloane's hushed conversation in the kitchen. I'm just saying, if our best regulars keep bringing their drama here, no one else is going to want to stay. With a sigh, Sloane leans against the kitchen island, the full weight of this morning's event seeming to suddenly sit on her shoulders. They're good, reliable customers. And sure, things have been tricky, but we got Maddie now. With a little hard work, we can turn this around. Besides, aren't there enough names on your board of bands already? Let's not add any more while we're going through a rough patch. She side-eyes a corkboard near the walk-in fridge. There must be at least 24 names on there, each marked with a reason for ban in vindictive felt tip. I know, you're right. It's just, I haven't even cast that anti-summon award on this place. Not exactly a recipe for success. I did want to talk about our recipe actually. You know, since we got a new wire and can we just deal with one thing at a time? First priority is cutting down costs. Now, I noticed the price of algae extract for that blue drink got hiked up and I figured, ugh, my nerves are a mess. I should just cast that word. I'll be up front. What are you doing now? Fred! A sudden knock on the back door stops her from following after Fred. Oh, Dave's back. Let's deal with that first. One thing at a time. Mumbling to himself, Fred assumes a position at the very center of the cafe. That storm cloud feeling starts to rise again as he begins his spellcraft. Is he floating? While Fred's presence draws a little attention, you start rifling through your bag, making sure you can take any opportunity to launch the heist. At the sound of Fred's chanting, Jesse looks up from their work and gives Grudge a baffled shrug. Grudge moves over to them, just as confused. Jais, what kind of spell is that? Oh, judging from the symbols, it looks like an anti-summoning ward? Odd. Why would he want to stop anyone from getting in? Or for that matter, why would he want to stop folks from getting out? Grant me the... Okay, who's fucking with the lights? You turn to spot Alexandra fiddling with the dimmer switch that you pointed out earlier. Oh, sorry. Just trying to make the photos look nicer. Didn't realize it'd be so sensitive. I'll put it back now. She tries to turn the knob back, but the lights don't stop flickering. Ready? Alexandra, I got bigger things to worry about than photographs right now. I'm addressing a security concern in case you hadn't noticed. Bigger things than catering to your own customers? This is why we are only regulars. We're the only ones patient enough. Grudge, that's not a very smart thing to say, is it? Not another fight. It's then that Sloane joins you in the main room, dusting her hands clean from Dave's latest packages. Finally. Fred, are you doing alright? Sloane stands still at the sight of Grudge and Fred's stare down. She gazes into his hollow sockets. As she registers the flickering lights and a sheepish Alexandra near the switch, her face falls. Oh, no. The electrics aren't good, Alexandra. Let me deal with it. Alexandra, with no small amount of embarrassment, watches Sloane open the light switch to attempt some hasty repairs. Could we just slow down for a moment? Am I not allowed to check on my own cafe without someone accosting me? No. We've got a new hire today, and if that is the impression we're giving him, well, maybe that's good. Sure as shit it's honest. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'll be finishing that spell now, without any more interruptions. Fred continues, pushing the spell towards completion as you, coiled like a spring, wait for the exact right moment to strike. Even with such a prominent distraction, you know success isn't assured. How fortunate then that you sowed a little more chaos in advance. Just as Fred's magic ripples out into the cafe, all the lights turn off. Whether a result of Fred's spellcraft or Alexandra's meddling, you aren't going to waste time wondering. It's a slim distraction, but it's enough, and you aren't going to get a better chance than right now. You reach into your bag, and in an instant, all the lights and sound is sucked from the room. The sounds of panic are quickly quelled by the magic now pulsing from your cozy-co, sleep-tight blackout blanket. Even in the silent darkness, you won't have long before everyone gets a sense of their surroundings. But you've been over this plan too many times to fail now. Step 1. Take 3 steps into the kitchen, then 5, no, 6 to the right. You paw for the door handle and slip into the office, thankful that there wasn't an apron to stop you. Step 2. 1, 2, 3 steps and you feel the cool surface of the safe against your fingers. Step 3. Reach into your bag and give your can of Curse Begone a shake. A few sprays on the safe and the wards are already flaking off. Fred never considered such a direct approach. But there's something else. A sound cutting through the silence, crackling the lightning. Fred's casting a counterspell, albeit slowly thanks to you wasting his time on the anti-teleporting ward. Step 4. Spin the wheel and heave the safe door open. Feel around inside until you've done it. Against all odds, you've managed to pull off the heist, with only a slim window of opportunity too. Your shaking, outstretched hands grab the cafe's secret recipe, before stuffing it into the tiny pocket dimension of your teleportable lunchbox. But at this crucial moment, you can't help but think of the other people in the cafe, and who, if anyone, you should try to pin this on. You exhale, but the sound, though faint, is starting to return. Fred's counterspell is gaining energy. Even if you put all your weight on a safe door, you wouldn't have time to close it properly. The best you can do is return as quickly and quietly as you can. As you take careful steps back to the counter, you try your best to control your breathing, to not let the exhilaration show. It's been so long, but as you take careful steps back to the counter and the darkness finally dissipates, you know you're not safe yet. You've got to find an exit in the ensuing chaos without arousing suspicion somehow. As the silent darkness lifts from the cafe, the first thing you see is Fred bounding through the kitchen and crashing through the cat flap to the office. Maddie, is everything okay in there? No one's hurt? Okay, I know how this looks. That's the last time I handle the lights, but I don't think blackouts usually come with spontaneous hearing loss. It is possible with light and sound enchantments, but it's so rare they're so dramatic. Did Fred's spell backfire somehow? Jesse, we don't have any enchantments like that. This wasn't planned. Huh. The plot thickens. Wait, where'd Fred go? Before anyone can move, Fred rushes back into the room. Nobody leaves! His eyes crackle gold and chains of light fly across the cafe. The front door, the windows, the back door, no exits are spared. We can do this the easy way or the hard way. Understand? And if you aren't going to turn yourself in, I'll just root you out myself. What? I'm sorry, but whatever just happened is your business. I'm not missing my meeting. I'm sure you have a plan, Frederick, but is it really necessary to trap us inside your lovely cafe? If you wanted us to stay, you didn't have to do that. And what are you accusing us of exactly? Sitting perfectly still while you messed up some spell? Fred, what's going on? While the lights were out, someone went into my office and somehow opened the safe, which means one of the people in this room has stolen our secret recipe. It's as if the whole room flinches. Suddenly, everyone's looking at everyone else, wide-eyed, searching their faces for the slightest trace of an answer. Jesse seems to be evaluating everyone in turn, but the piercing red eyes burrow into Fred for the longest. Most importantly, however, no one seems to regard you for very long, but that means no, this is fine. We can deal with it. It's alright. Well, good luck with that. I'll be on my way. Ha! Good luck getting past my magic. I might only be a familiar, but I promise if you try to leave, you'll regret it. Jesse's eyes flicker across Fred's barrier, prying for any weakness in the spellcraft. Frederick, please. I understand that you're stressed, but it'll be easier to figure this out if we aren't in a locked room, won't it? Yeah, and why would it only be one of us who stole your recipe? What if it's all of us working to take you down? We don't have to act like vigilantes. I'll just call the police and— Enough! Enough. This place is sealed and nobody leaves till we find our thief. Thief, singular grudge, because if there were any more, you might have actually succeeded. As for the SCPD, Sloan, fine, I'll call them. I'm betting they'll take their sweet taxpayer-funded time getting here, then label this as unsolvable. But I'm not risking anyone making a break for it in the meantime, so we're going to sit here like adults and get our facts straight. Understand? Now, did anyone notice anybody acting strange? Anything suspicious at all? Might get this over with faster if you fess up now. The room exchanges uncomfortable glances before someone pipes up. Oh, I was the one who stopped Alexandra from messing around with the lights. Maybe she short-circuited the electrics by accident. Oh, there's suspicion of hers going up. And what? That was a prelude to this? Just a fun little hint? You can't be serious. Oh no, suspicion has been up on me. Maddie suggested it, so I thought it'd be fine. Well, Fred, you were casting an anti-summoning ward, weren't you? That tells me you were expecting something like this to happen. Already blocking off avenues of escape. Oh, suspicion of Fred. You really didn't explain what you were doing, Fred. Can't blame us for worrying. Hey, I'm the one who just got robbed. I was right to cast that. Marty's the one who suggested it. Well, great start, everybody. At this rate, we'll have a recipe back within the next 1,000 years. Oh, there's no use trusting anyone here, is there? I know how these stories go. You've all got some kind of motive. Jesse, the heir to a powerful family with something to prove. There's always one. I'm not an heir to anything. I'm the youngest of 5. Alexandra, our femme fatale, although she hasn't killed anyone. Probably. If it weren't from you, I'd take that as a compliment. Raj, the obvious suspect. Too obvious even, but I'm not ruling out anything yet. So what, that makes you the hero detective? You don't even have a plucky sidekick. Or a hat. Sloan, the one you'd least expect. Oh, that's good, I think. But Fred, you can't really be saying that, which brings us to our final suspect. Maddie. Your breath can't help but flutter as everyone's eyes suddenly turn on you. Will, I've got my eye on you too, but they'd have to be swimming in artifacts to pull that off, so pretty sure they're in the clear. That's the great thing about being a human in a world of non-humans, I guess. No one suspects us. A cursory glance around the room tells you that not everyone believes him. Uh-oh, so that's why they're going to find out who really did this. And everyone's going to be very polite and answer all their questions. What? Wait, they're the detective? I would have been perfect for this job. Although playing sidekick to Fred, yeah, bullet dodged. Fred, you know me. You don't seriously think I could have done this, do you? That seems awfully convenient for both Maddie and Frederick. But could we just stay calm and not keep shouting all the time? This is just a waste of everyone's time. As soon as I can, I'm leaving. Don't try to stop me. I'm with her there, Jess, though I wouldn't mind knowing who really did it. Fred, I know you're panicking right now, but we shouldn't do anything rash. These are our customers, and it's just Maddie's first day. Why would we? Her rising voice is broken by a ringtone. She stops with a flinch, putting the call on speaker. Hey, Dave. Hey, Sloan. Got my very last packages out back, but there's these gold chains on the door. I think it's stuck. You okay in there? Yes, we're just dealing with a burglary. I'll give you the details in a second. At the door. Oh, one of those days, huh? Is Maddie alright at least? Good question. Fred's just asked him to interrogate us. Look, I know it's unorthodox, but we need that recipe. This is our best option for the cafe. For the cafe? I always knew you hated your customers, but this just confirms it. No grudge, just you. Can we please not fight already? We're not going to solve whatever this is by shouting. Yes, getting a bit loud over the speaker. Maddie, what do you actually want to do? Oh, here we go. 3 different options, which is either going to gain us or lose us favor with various different people. You can't please everyone. So we have 3 options. Number 1, if I'm getting paid either way, I might as well. Option 2, let's all calm down, we're on the same side. And option 3, I don't know, this is a pretty bad first day. I mean, it's true, this would be a really bad first day, like, if somebody else had done this. And I do feel a little bit bad that we're about to pin this on someone, but at the same time, like, this is so much fun. I'm curious who does and doesn't like each of these options. Because saying let's all come down, we're on the same side, I feel like most people would be like happy with that kind of option, so I'm curious who wouldn't like that. But like, I don't want Sloan to hate me, and I kind of want to flirt with Grudge, and I want Alex and Jessie to get back together, and like, I don't know what to choose. Let's just say, I don't know what I want to do. It's a pretty bad first day. Oh, Dave likes us more. Oh, everybody else is bad though. You don't think anyone here, besides Sloan, appreciated the reminder? Exactly. No one wanted things to turn out this way, we all agree on that. But we can still make it better. Here, when I told you to have a good first day, did I jinx it? My bad. Look, are we doing this or not, Maddie? No matter how strange Fred's idea might be, it could put you in a better position until you can manage your getaway. Time tilling on the scapegoat part of your plan. So, as he starts bounding into the kitchen, you shrug and go along with him. Sloan finishes her call with Dave before following with heavy footsteps. Silence takes the space you leave behind. Do you want to talk about any of that? Just relax for a minute, Sloan. I'm gonna check for the clues in my office. Maddie, join me in a minute. Clues? I didn't hire a detective, but here we are. If there's anything I can do to help, please just ask. Oh, me too. Not sure there's much I can offer besides moral support, but, you know, thought I'd say. Can't leave till the delivery's done is all. Thanks, Dave. I think we could use the support while this gets sorted. Okay, firstly, I desperately want Sloan and Dave to get together, but also I really want to frame Dave. Like, he's the perfect person to frame here. Like, everybody else has been here the entire time. They had to have left that room and come back. Dave has had perfect ample opportunity to get in the back. Well, it'll get awkward if I'm just looking in, won't it? I'll leave you be then. Anything you need, just shout into the alley. Although actually, maybe he's not a good one to pin, because if the ward was up... Wait, did he put the ward for us to get in and out after? Or was that what he... Maybe we can't blame Dave. Best not to keep Fred waiting. Maybe you'll be able to reason with him, calm him down a bit. I think you could use that right now. Outgoing calls to asshole? Who the fuck? Who's asshole? You oblige her and enter the office, finding Fred in the middle of a phone call. Yeah, a theft. Lock down the whole building. Makes your job a whole lot easier, doesn't it? A locked room scenario is a little intriguing, I suppose. The person on the phone. You know that voice. Thin and sharp as wire, digging into you just as deep. But where? But if it isn't urgent, that's not what I said in... You're not exactly getting picked off one by one. I'll be happy to be there at the earliest convenience. Our department is very busy otherwise. You? Lest I remember you couldn't solve a crossword by yourself, let alone an arcane burglary. You shouldn't expect miracles. We are just mortal, you know. Oh, excuse me. Mostly mortal. A self-satisfied laugh crackles through the receiver. It bounces off the back of your skull, ringing like tinnitus. If you show your face in my business, I'll see you later, familiar. Motherfucker, why did I expect anything else? After dialing all those tiny keys too. Oh, you heard that, Maddie. Maybe don't eavesdrop while I'm trying to deal with a crisis, eh? Not that we need the SCPD's help. We'll solve this ourselves. Plan is, you find our prime suspect before the ponies get here and mess everything up. You can do that, right? It's 1 in 4. Logical deduction. Fred sneaks a not-so-subtle glance at your CV across the desk. Should be easy for you. An industrious ship captain like yourself? A ship captain. Not sure how those skills will transfer to... Oh, that's business speak for the leader, isn't it? Apologies, I'm not fluent on bullshit. Oh, and you like destroying your enemies? That's exactly what we want. Destroying our foes is one of the familiar's core values. Right, let's put those soft skills of yours to use. Imagine I'm one of the suspects. What would you ask me? Uh-oh. Hey, do you have the recipe? You did it, didn't you? Just confess. If you admit it now, we promise we won't be mad. You did it, just confess. Yeah, I tried that already. Didn't work. Good instincts, but we're going to need more than that to... He stops to breathe out as much tension as he can manage. I mean, are you even trying to find the right suspect here? We need eyewitness accounts, motives, that sort of thing. Stuff like, what were you doing when the lights went out? Or how do you feel about the familiar? Or what's your relationship with Fred, you know? If that's what he wants while you're trapped here, that's exactly what he'll get. If you find us a prime suspect, with a convincing case, I mean, something thoroughly investigated, we can put things back to normal. And once he shows up, we'll need all the ammunition we can find. I know how this sounds. It's a dumb idea, but it's the best I've got right now. And if we don't do something, this place is going under. All our livelihoods are at stake here, so get out there and catch us a thief. Your plan went off without a hitch, until it didn't. And while your boss might be paying you greater attention, he doesn't think you did it, at least not yet. And if a real detective from the SCPD is coming, no doubt they'll find out you're the thief. That is, unless you have a convincing scapegoat. With evidence of a motive and the others on your side, you might be able to clock off at the end of the day without handcuffs. Until that happens, Fred's magic will keep you trapped here. So with that, your investigation begins. Not to find who did it, but to find the perfect person to blame. To be continued. And there it is. That is how we're gonna end the demo. That is the perfect place to end it. The scene is set, we've met the characters, the deed is done, and we have been tasked by our boss, who doesn't yet seem to suspect us, to find the culprit. Now the game really begins, sowing the seeds of doubt, putting blame on different people, figuring out how we can get out of this. Okay, this was so fun. So we've got a really eclectic, fun cast. We've got Sloane, who is a construct. Love her so much. She's adorable. She's so sweet, and I want to protect her at all costs. We have Jessie. They are a vampire. Absolutely adorable. Like, they have definitely got something up their sleeve. They're a dark horse, by which I mean a little pink horse. A little pink bat, I should say. How fucking cute. And there's also a little something going on between them and Alex, who is absolutely gorgeous. She just rolls in her wheelchair, an absolute goddess, and is like super confident until she sees Jessie. I want to know what's going on with them. Like, what happened there? And then, of course, we've got Grudge. I was like flirting with Grudge, but in my head, I was like, this is the worst accent to give like this really cool, like badass, like, you know, I am a skeleton and I'm so cool. Like, I'm so sorry about that. But he's so fucking funny. He just rocks up like, hey, wait a second. I'm gonna challenge you. Like, I think you're really cool, but wait, actually, you're my replacement, so I fucking hate you. And then we got Fred himself, who's this familiar. And from what I took from that final conversation with the guy on the phone that just said asshole, I reckon that's the wizard. I reckon he is that guy's familiar. Fred must be the familiar of the guy who's coming to investigate. That's the energy I got from them, was very much, fuck you, I hate you, I don't need your help. Oh, that was so fun though. So many different options. You can throw suspicion on all manner of different people. Play it in many, many different ways. I know it said there were more than 15 ways to end this game, and I'm so curious. Obviously, we've got 5 different people to pin it on. We got 5 different, maybe potential love interests. I really want to try and find some new endings with this. When this comes out in full, this is gonna be so replayable. I'm absolutely stoked for you guys to get your hands on this, and I'm so glad you don't have long to wait. The demo comes out for everybody for Steam Next Fest on June 10th. This was such a fun time today. I really want to know what you guys think of it. If you want to go and follow the devs on Twitter, you'll find the link, as always, in the description down below. Go and give them some love. I hope this has inspired you to come up with some ideas of like how you want to play this. There's definitely going to be a lot of replayability, so go and wishlist the game on Steam down below. You can follow them on Kickstarter as well. For now though, thank you so much for watching. Please, as always, leave your comments, suggestions, and your feedback down below. And remember, it's always tea time somewhere in the world. Bye bye.